I'm curious for you, what was your reaction to Brunson saying that this was not a success for him? How'd you take that?
I fully expect that from Jalen Brunson. And, that's why we love Jalen Brunson. That's who Jalen Brunson is. I'd expect nothing less. And, it's his job to say that, and it's my job to say that it wasn't a failure. Of course, we failed our objective. We didn't achieve what we wanted to be. We didn't get where we wanted to go. So, yes, of course, it's a disappointment. But this, I'm about to be 30 years old in August. This is my favorite season as a Knicks fan, and I don't even really think it's particularly close. The way this team fought to get to 50 games, to get to the 2 seed, to do that with all the adversity, the trades, losing Julius again when we found out he wasn't coming back, losing Mitch multiple times. Nobody ever made excuses. And I love the fact that, we don't lose like losers. So, it's nice to see him up there. And that energy goes to the entire fan base. Like, all the no excuses, next man up, all that stuff. I feel like that's where we all are, and I'm glad to see Jalen go up there and feel that same exact way, but I couldn't be prouder.
Brendan, for you, as a former coach, if your top guy says what Brunson said yesterday, how do you view that? And also, how do you view this season from your seat? Success, failure, something in between?
It's definitely a success because you had to, kind of, as Shaun said, recreate the team 4 different times. Depending on, the 17 and 15 team and then the OG trade team, the January team. There are a lot of different versions of the team, and I think Tom Thibodeau and his staff maximize a lot out of individual players, and that's what you love to see. Now, losing in the second round, yeah, they did 1 game better than last year. That's the harsh reality of this morning. For all the panorama and everything that was going on, they played a 7 seed and a 6 seed in the playoffs, and they only went 7-6. They were 20-27 against plus 500 teams. So I think when you look forward here, and we talked about this earlier in the season, if another guy is going to come in, maybe not an A guy, but an A- guy, a really good player, how does he fit with Brunson? Brunson is so ball dominant at times. And it was needed at different points of the season for him to do so, for the Knicks to win. And then even in the first round, he's taken 29 shots a game against Philadelphia. Moving forward, however you want to look at this, do you want to go back to the January team? January team was good. That's Anunoby, Randle, Hartenstein, and then Jalen and Dante in the backcourt. They were incredible that month. Do you want to go to that and then fill in some gaps? Or do you want to truly change it on the top of your rotation? And if that's the case, does that guy flush with Jalen Brunson pretty well?
Yeah, it's fascinating when you talk about that offseason, and you mentioned Julius Randle, and I want to audible a little bit and just get into Randle before we hit on Tom Thibodeau. With Randle, people, I think you have to include in your analysis or your opinion on Randle that January stretch, because I think people kind of forget the role that he played in that stretch. He was a pivotal piece, and I thought that OG Anunoby on the floor, OG Anunoby was getting acclimated and I guess he wasn't that aggressive on offense, but even with all those guys, I thought Randle fit in pretty well. To me, that's the perfect kind of paradigm for this team with Randle on it, is Randle finding his spots and maybe, I don't know if he was comfortable, wasn't comfortable, but I think he has to be comfortable moving forward with a clear hierarchy where Jalen Brunson is at the top, the ball's in his hands, and then Randle maybe gets fewer touches, fewer shots than he's been accustomed to and kind of fills a role. And I think if he's comfortable with that, things will work out here with this team. But, can he be? I don't know. I'm not him. But I think that's one of the keys here when you talk about Randle. Do you get January Randle, and how comfortable is he with Brunson kind of ascending in that hierarchy and having it be a more clear hierarchy